Peter, we're back.
Yes.
Here we are again.
What's up, buddy?
All right. As goes my life, people say a lot of things to me for some reason. Apparently, they think I want to hear, I want to listen to them. I don't know.
Don't you kind of?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay. So then why do you pretend you don't?
Most of the time. I don't know. This is like unsolicited,
Yeah.
Like I didn't like ask any questions.
Yeah, but you like
People
to be
confess.
You like to be asked things that you then can give advice on.
I do.
Yeah.
Takes up a lot of time though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's why I be left alone sometimes. But no, this is fine. So somebody came up to me recently, a friend of mine, and this is what she said to me. She said, "I'm really frustrated." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, why?" And she goes, "Well, I started running and I've been running a lot and I haven't lost any weight."
Classic.
And I just kind of stared at her for a little while.
Like just confirming, like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. And I just kind of looked and I was like, okay. I was like, well, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because that's probably maybe not the worst way to go about it, but it's certainly not the most efficient way.
It's a part of it.
It's part of it.
But it's like a fragment of it.
Totally a fragment. And so we spent the next, 10 or 15 minutes, having that conversation about what this should look like and why that wasn't working for her. And then, and then she went on her way. But I guess the reason I bring this up today is because I think a lot of people have confusion around this topic about, like, especially with everything that's out there now along the lines of, you have all those people, like the zone 2 people, and then you have the GLP-1 people, and then you have like, there's just schools of thought like everywhere, right? And so it gets really confusing for people and they don't know what to do and they're just looking for help. And so that's what we're here for, is to try to help them.
Nice.
And I think in general, most people overcomplicate it.
Yeah,
themselves,
for sure.
So I'd like to
distill this down.
Yeah. So this is your thing.
This is literally what I do. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Aren't you trying to lose weight right now? Oh, I talk about that for a minute. Aren't you trying to?
I'm not actively.
All right. Well, are you or are you not?
I mean, technically, yes. Yes. No. So I haven't tried to lose weight intentionally for like 12 years.
Yeah.
But I give this advice all of the time to people and I tell them how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm so far removed. I should probably have a more like intimate knowledge of recently of how to like do this to myself. So me and Gianna are going on a little weight loss challenge, but not really weight loss. We're just trying to lose a little bit of body fat. But it's more for the exercise of remembering how to count the calories, how to count the macros, like having it, I have to be beholden to the number and so on and so forth. I've lived my life in the past 12 years of not having to do that at all. I just eat when I'm hungry. I also tend to eat like really good healthy foods and I'm able to just intuitively maintain my weight.
Yeah. I also eat when I'm hungry, which seems to be all the time.
You don't intuitively maintain your weight though.
No, I don't.
And I think that's most people.
I do eat when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I think this is part of the conversation today. I probably am hungry more than you because I don't eat the right things all the time.
Yeah.
And so that makes me hungry,
sure.
More often because I'm not putting, anyway, so, let's get into that. But let's start with essentially the idea around cardio and running.
Okay.
Right. So
it's a super normal thing for people to start doing.
Yeah. So it seems like it should make sense, right? I ran 3 miles and even if I just ate well that day or whatever, like I should start to lose weight if I do that pretty regularly. Why, for most people, is this not the way to lose weight?
Yeah. I mean, there's even science behind cardio and weight loss. Like technically speaking, you burn more fat than you burn anything else when you're doing zone 2 cardio. That's just some nonsense. Like so it is technically true that your fat cells are more mobilized for energy during zone 2, but that has nothing to do with like, if you eat too much, regardless of whether it's fat, carbs, or proteins, you're still going to gain weight. And no amount of 250 calories in a 35-minute session on the treadmill is going to stop that from happening if you choose to put an extra 250 calories in your face.
Right.
It just negates that from a purely fat loss perspective, right?
Sure.
I mean, like running for health is good. But like if you're thinking I'm going to just run or elliptical or whatever cardio of your choice for weight loss, that is maybe 10% of the equation overall.
Right. Like, yeah, for instance, like I was on the treadmill yesterday and the treadmill told me that
it likes to lie.
That I burned almost 800 calories.
It loves to lie.
Therefore, I went home and had 800 additional calories.
But it's not pizza night.
It wasn't pizza night.
Yeah.
I can find calories anywhere, buddy.
Your candy drawer.
So how accurate would you think maybe the treadmill is? Like how, I was on there for an hour.
Yeah.
I was walking up a hill basically at 3.5 miles an hour, 10-degree incline for 60 minutes. It was something like 800 calories. Would you say that's relatively close?
No, you're probably 600. So So it's probably within
so I had one too many take fives last night.
it's probably within 1/3 margin of error. But
yeah,
I mean, just think about it. Like, really think about it. Those machines are like the companies are incentivized to make those like tuned high.
Right.
Obviously. Yeah. Right. It feels good. You're like, I burned 800 calories. Did something good for myself today. And it's like, right. It's like, primary, like right on the main display. Yeah. So that's obviously way too high. I mean, to put context on it, to burn 1,000 calories in an hour, like that's unbelievably challenging. Like you have to be, not only do you have to be incredibly fit to push at that effort for that time, you also have to be fairly big, right? Like a 200-pound man burns so many more calories than so for instance, like you and your wife, you're literally almost twice as big as her. I think you are. Yeah. She burns on this, like it's in the same cardio session, like about half as much as you.
Yeah, she hates it.
She hates us.
She gets so mad at me. It's so great.
It's unfair. But it is what it is, right? So
this is why I put on weight recently, so I can more easily burn calories. Is that the wrong way to go?
That's such the Gary way.
Would you say that's not the best way to go?
I know how to burn more calories.
I know how to burn. If I got bigger, I can burn more calories and feel better about myself.
I guess technically that's true.
Yeah. So hashtag winning. Things are going great for me. But just going back to that point, I think part of the problem is exactly what I do sometimes too, is when I do that and I see that number, it's permission to eat more.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And I will immediately eat more than what the treadmill.
You really feel that you do that?
100%. It's a mental thing because you think you earned it.
And you'll just be so.
I think most people, that's probably speaking out of turn. Maybe not most people. I think a lot of people, when they work out in general, permission to eat more, so their calories actually go higher than what they probably should be at, and they're eating more than what they actually burn. Right? So because it doesn't take a lot, right? Like I think I looked up the example of what a Snickers bar would be, right? So the example was 150 to 180 pound person running for 30 minutes would burn about 250 to 300 calories, right? A Snickers bar is about that. So I'd have to run.
And that's a lot of effort.
I'd have to run really hard for 30 minutes
to destroy it in 1 minute.
Like how long would it take me to eat a Snickers?
1.5, 2 minutes.
And let's just assume that Snickers is a part of my day. Even if I ate healthy the rest of the day and came in at my calories, I didn't lose anything that day.
Yeah, sure.
I burned off the Snickers, right? Like in terms of I negated the cost of the Snickers.
Yeah, and I
wouldn't lose weight over time.
No, not at all. Right. But let's also be clear too, right? Like, so there are let's just put them into two categories. Like, let's say we're doing cardio for weight loss and we're doing cardio for exercise, correct? Health.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
These are two totally different things. And so if you're in a place where you're exercising to perform, then you should technically be able to eat more in a given day because you literally need to get up to your maintenance level.
Yep.
But if in Gary's story, like if you're doing it to lose body fat and you're intuitively overeating because you've exercised, or maybe you're doing the thing where you don't realize that you're overeating, then obviously that's super negative. Then you're doing nothing for yourself.
Right. I mean, you don't do a lot of cardio.
Almost none.
Yeah.
Very little. I just
it's just a very small part of your workout.
It's probably 10% of everything.
You bike ride sometimes, but you're not really. I mean, you're getting cardio obviously, but that's not the point of the bike ride. But it's not something that this time of year, for instance, it's cold. We live
this time of year. I get the least amount of cardio. In the summertime, I get quite a bit because of the thing. But I don't. I don't do cardio.
But you don't put on weight.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So I don't have to do cardio. Cardio has nothing to do with weight.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. You should do it because it's good for your health, and you should do it because it's good exercise and it makes you feel better. But in my opinion, it's not a strategy at all for I want to lose body fat.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I always tell my clients, you do cardio for fitness and for your heart and your lungs and for all the things. There's benefits to cardio. Certainly do it.
Yeah, please.
But if your goal is weight loss, then it's the wrong approach. So then I guess the question is, well, what is the right approach?
Right.
So how do we go about it? Where would you start? When you do a lot of health coaching with our clients, where do you have people start? How do you start this process of I want to lose weight?
Right. Sure. Yeah. So let's do two thought experiments. So, we'll start with, I guess, in the end, in my experience doing this for a long time, if you overeat calories, then you will gain weight. If you undereat calories, you will lose weight. And our goal, if we want to do neither, is just to kind of ride the midline. Okay. So that's the way to lose weight. Right. So there's many ways to do that. Right. So you can eat less, you can exercise a little bit more, and then not like eat the calories that you just burned, right? It's basically activity. So
Mm-hmm.
what you're outputting into the world versus the food that you're eating, the energy that you're intaking. So you have to have some balance there. Okay.
Right.
So that's the primary foundational element. And then the way to go about it from a real like health perspective, and this is part of the problem with like these GLP-1s, is that if people are just taking it and they're not exercising,
Mm-hmm.
they're shedding muscle
And when you
mass.
say exercise, you mean strength training. You're
Mhm.
speaking specifically to
Yeah, yeah. So
because like a GLP-1 with no strength training combined with like the treadmill
mhm.
is like a bad recipe.
Yeah, so here's
Yeah.
why, right? So and this is an actual reality that that every client that sits in front of me will go through. And so I want to share it with you guys because I think it's really important to understand the difference of how to lose weight correctly for your health. So over a year, if you wanted to lose 50 pounds, and that's realistic in a year, like in a sustainable way, you could lose 50 pounds, right? If you did diet alone and you crushed it, right? Did
Mm.
really good job, very adherence to the calories, you tick down about a pound a week, you lose about 50 pounds in the first year, but you did no exercise at all, right?
Yep.
Well, that person will have lost 50 pounds, but they honestly might have lost 15 pounds of muscle mass
Mm.
and 35 pounds of fat mass.
Right.
So the scale would have changed 50 pounds,
Yeah.
but they would feel weaker.
Mm.
They would not look like they want to
Yeah.
because they'd still have more body fat on them than they'd want to because they've also lost the muscle mass as a part of that weight.
Right.
Right. So
Wouldn't over time too, and
Mhm.
maybe I misunderstand this because I apparently misunderstand a lot of things around this.
Mhm.
But over time, wouldn't that person also then have more difficulty continuing to lose weight because they
Yeah.
carry less muscle, and muscle tends to I always describe people. I don't know if you know this, but I often will describe you to people as a furnace
Okay. I don't know that.
because you carry so much muscle.
Yeah.
Like I was like, he has to because they talk about a lot. You eat here all the time, like
Mhm.
in our workplace. You're always eating,
Yeah.
always eating, and people will often say, "Well, how come he doesn't like gain any weight?"
Yeah.
And they assume you're just doing a ton of exercise, and you exercise, but you don't
Okay.
exercise like a
It's
whole
not
lot more
crazy.
than normal
Mhm.
people. You carry so much muscle because you've done this for so long
Mhm.
that you're a furnace. And that's how I always describe it because you burn more. Is like if I was somebody that was doing the opposite, I would say I was losing weight rapidly, but not strength training.
Yeah.
And so I lost my muscle mass. Am I going to have more difficulty than continuing to lose weight because I'm just
Mhm.
carrying less muscle?
Yeah. So again, remember, let's say you lost 50 pounds. Look, whether or
Yeah.
not you lost 50 pounds through fat or muscle or both, it doesn't matter. You're still going to burn less calories at the end of that 50 pounds because you're a smaller human being.
Yeah.
But it is also true that if you lose muscle mass, you will lose the ability to burn energy, to burn calories.
Yeah.
So that's true for sure.
Yeah.
It's not as big as people make a big deal out of it. Like it is true that like the more muscle mass you have, the more you burn, but it's not as big of a
So it's
factor.
not. Yeah.
But it is important.
That's good news for
To be
me.
clear.
There's hope. I can do it. I can do it.
So I wanted to do the counter thought experiment about
Sure.
somebody who were to lose 50 pounds and strength train the whole
Yeah.
year as well. And I
Mhm.
put these things on a time frame of a year because to change your body realistically over the long term, you need a long time,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't happen in like 10 days. It doesn't happen in a couple months. So if you lose 50 pounds in a year, and your diet was amazing and you did a great job with strength training, you're working with a personal trainer on your own, whatever it may be, multiple days a week, you not only would you lose the 50 pounds of body fat, you probably, if you weren't a regular exerciser like strength trainer before then, you probably would have gained some muscle mass.
Yeah.
And let's just pretend, which is totally realistic, that you gain 8 pounds of muscle mass in that first year. But the scale still showed that you lost 50 pounds. Well, why is that? I gained 8 pounds of muscle. If you gain 8 pounds of muscle through strength training, you got stronger, you gained more muscle, you would have had to have lost 58 pounds of body fat to still lose those
Jeez.
50 pounds.
Right.
So
That's crazy.
therefore, in the end,
Mhm.
right, you're going to be 66 pounds of net body composition change
Yeah.
because you will have lost that much extra body fat because you gain the extra muscle mass. So if for both people, you've still landed at the scale showing the same number, but those two people look and feel vastly different
Yeah.
because of the work that they've done on keeping their muscle mass. And so in my experience, to lose weight the correct way from a health perspective, to get the look that you want and to get the energy and the feeling, the strength that you want at the back end of it, you must strength train as a part of that strategy.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
Massive
You know what I
difference.
mean? And that person, like you said, they feel better. They have more energy,
Mhm.
more alert. Like throughout the day, they're probably sleeping better at night. And so those effects start to compound on themselves.
do.
Right. Because then because you have more energy and you're more alert, you're sleeping better, then you're more likely to want to continue to do those things because you're like, well, this is like a whole different, like I feel way better. I have better energy. I want to go to the gym. I want to use, your workouts become better, like more efficient.
And again, the time frame of a year in the very beginning, this is all horrible. Like it's horrible. Like there's so much intention and effort required to track your calories, to know what you're eating, to exercise regularly. Your body and your brain are constantly telling you, I don't want to do this. I'm sore. I'm hungry, so on and so forth. But that's like the first month, right?
Yeah.
Like if you get past the first 3 weeks to a month and you're more in a routine and your body isn't sore all the time and you understand how to eat well for like not only like your satiety, but your energy levels, by the time you get to that end of like the year, boy, like it's kind of just a part of your life. You look forward to exercise. You look forward to eating healthy food. You kind of feel like shit when you don't eat healthy food. So it requires time for the body and the mind to change.
Yep.
And if you don't give it that time, you're not giving it a fair shot to actually get to the point where you've gotten the change that you want.
Okay, let's go back to the food.
Okay.
It's like, what should I eat? You know what I mean? Like,
to lose weight?
Yeah, because like, for instance, I'm allotted right now, like whatever I'm allotted, 2,200 calories, right? I'm currently using my Lose It app. I'm 10 days in. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
But all 2,200 calories aren't created equal.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So for instance, we'll just go back to the Snickers bar.
Yeah.
I could have 9 of those or something, right? And math off the top, somewhere between 8 and 9 of those. Not that I would do that, but like, and I would still be at like, that calorie thing.
You can lose weight eating Twinkies.
Right. So would I still lose weight if I just did that?
Okay. Shit. Show's over.
Okay. But clearly that's not the way we want to go about this.
Yeah.
So what do we advise? Like, what do we tell people when they come through here? Like, what is the best way to go about this?
So,
because I also, just one more quick thing, because I often find that when I'm eating the wrong things, I feel hungry more of the time. So when and I define for me, the wrong things is typically carbohydrate type things, right? So I enjoy things like, rice cakes, or in my mind, those are healthy. I know they're not, so don't judge. But like things like that, right? That maybe aren't
low calorie.
Yeah, they're low calorie, but they're crunchy. I like crunchy things like pretzels and like whatever. But I find that those things actually tend to make me more hungry, and I'm like more of the time versus when I do eat what one would like. If I eat a salad, for instance, I actually feel more full after that. I don't really like
the salad with protein.
Yeah, right. So what should I be eating so that I'm not feeling like I'm starving all the time? And I'm obviously trying to stay within this like caloric range.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that question. I do want to just go back quickly to, you technically can lose weight on a Twinkie diet. In reality, I don't actually think it's possible. But like I'm trying to like make people understand that
do they still make Twinkies, by the way?
It's weird, right? Like Hostess.
That still exists.
Cupcakes and shit. Yeah.
How are they allowed to exist? Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So all of my advice is structured towards actually like, what are the things that will actually help people adhere to a calorie deficit?
Right.
Right. Because it's not about discipline and it's not about motivation in the end. It's about finding ways that you can get the body to naturally stay hungry and to get the nutrition it needs. So you're essentially tricking the psychology to feel full all of the time, and you would be starving if you ate 2,200 in Snickers or
I feel like I would be hungry the whole day,
all of the time, right?
So there's no way I would stay at like 2,200 because I'm going to eat something.
Yes, so that's the point, and then of course you would also, your body would slowly deteriorate from a health perspective. Like that gives you nothing that your body needs nutritionally. It has the macros, right, but it has none of the micronutrients, it has none of the fiber.
Do you know I used to think that was healthy, a Snickers bar?
Why?
I used to convince myself because it had like,
how long ago?
Like when I was
asshole.
In my mind, when I was like picking out my candy bar,
that was the best one.
I used to be like, well, this is like the healthiest because they had like peanuts.
I can't believe you had a health argument with yourself when you're picking out candy bars.
I did. Like it was healthier than the Milky Way. You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
Or like a Hershey's bar.
No, it's actually worse.
Or like, but in my mind, it wasn't, because like peanuts, like what?
It sounds like that is.
This is why I don't do health coaching. and I think of myself as a pretty smart person.
Yeah.
All it was is like mind games. It wasn't that I believed. I didn't really
we all
believe
tell ourselves
it. Yeah,
that.
I just told myself that so that I could justify eating the Snickers. But like whatever.
So I guess the point is the foundation is the calorie deficit, but how do we get in the calorie deficit long-term from a healthy way, right? What we need to do, so think of it like this. The stomach has an actual physical size. Let's say the stomach is like this big, okay? On average. When you fill it, right? You get this hormone that tells your brain, hey, like I'm not hungry
Yeah.
anymore because my stomach is physically full. It's like filling like a balloon, right?
Right.
Now it's tight. I don't need to eat,
What's the name of that hormone?
right? So that's going to be called ghrelin,
Yeah.
right? So
Like growling, like my stomach is growling.
that's right. So I'm sorry, I'm the opposite. So leptin is the satiety hormone.
Yep.
Ghrelin is the hormone that tells you want to eat.
Oh yeah, so my stomach's growling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you had that.
Perfect. Yeah.
So when you stretch your stomach, your brain shuts off and it says, I don't need to eat anymore.
Yeah.
Well, how should you do that best? What do you think? Like, what is the primary way to do that best through food that we have available?
Like expand my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's.
And still staying under calories, right?
Yeah,
because
sure.
like food,
so that's going to be, that sounds like it would be something like a salad where I could eat a lot of it and there's not a lot of calories or something along those lines, right? Like something that would fill up a lot of volume, but with a low calories.
That's essentially the strategy.
Just for the record, I could do that with rice also.
No, you couldn't. Absolutely not. Rice.
Have you ever seen me eat rice?
Yes, but it's really you're saying you could physically do it.
A lot of volume.
Yeah, but then you need like 2,000 calories.
I know.
Yeah.
But ideally, like low calories.
So here's the strategy. The strategy
I just
is
meant the volume thing. I could eat a lot of rice.
Is your stomach's probably like this?
I know, it's probably huge. Yeah.
So here's the strategy. The strategy is adhere to a whole food diet. And well, why is that? Well, when you adhere to a whole food diet, whole foods compared to their processed foods, counterpart, have so many less calories per volume, right? Per space. So again, thought experiment, right? If you had a really fatty cut of steak and a giant like half moon of rice on that plate, I mean, that T-bone and rice is probably 2,500 calories, right? And it's going to fill up the same space as a plate full of, let's say, broccoli, sweet potatoes, and chicken breast. Like if you had the exact same size of both of those things,
right?
The chicken breast plate probably has 650 calories, whereas the other plate has 2,500. But it fits the same size.
Yeah, it's volume
in your body.
Sure.
And so the calories are not the thing that tells your brain I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
It's the stretching of the stomach. So if you can leverage foods that have very low calories that also are highly dense in nutrients, like fruits, vegetables, lean meat, so on and so forth, you can easily overcome the feeling of hunger because you're not hungry as often, right? And then this other thing happens too.
Yeah.
And this is really important. When you eat high fibrous foods that are in their real form, your body has to physically digest them, which means it takes a much longer amount of time for that food to get out of the stomach and into the intestines, right? And then what does that mean? Well, then it takes longer to be hungry again.
Feel hungry, right?
Yeah, because it takes like, let's say it takes 3 hours to get that food out of the stomach and into the small intestine. Well, you get all of that time where your brain's not having any food noise whatsoever.
Right.
And let's do the opposite now. So let's say we put 650 calories into our stomach, but it was a quarter of the size. Yeah. We're hungry 30 minutes later. And if it's processed, it's already mostly digested, literally by the company that made the food. Yeah. So that shit gets out of your stomach.
Pretty gross.
Like,
that sounds gross.
Kind of, because it's all like chopped up into nothing, right? So your stomach digests that so much faster. So now you have this dual purpose of your stomach didn't stretch as much and it gets out of the stomach faster. And you're going to eat way more because you're way more hungry throughout the day. And if you're choosing processed foods, you're also most likely eating way more carbohydrates, which to then just get into the hormonal aspect of it is like, then you're spiking your insulin, you're overproducing from the pancreas, you're driving your sugar out of your blood back into your cells. There's an overcompensation effect, which means you have low blood sugar, which means your body then says, hey, asshole, like I need blood sugar.
Right.
And so that's why like this processed food loop of like always being hungry every 30 to 50 minutes is because your body is not filling the stomach. The hormones aren't doing their job for you that they're supposed to. And then that's the loop that most Americans get trapped in.
Yeah.
Is what I find.
Yeah. We're kind of like, we're marketed to that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they want us
food
to be in
is
that.
Not really food.
Right. Plus they sell more of it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? If we're always hungry, we just keep buying more and more and more and more, you know? So it's,
So in the end, you can lose, calories are king, but in order to get to a calorie deficit, the strategy of whole foods and highly dense, nutritious foods is going to be extremely important to actually have that like work in real life.
Right.
In my experience.
So then the ideal long-term approach here, right, is eating, having your diet be largely whole food based. Making sure and this is going to be my summary. You're going to tell me if I'm right.
Yeah.
All right. So eating a largely whole food based diet. Strength training. If I had to choose one thing,
Out of all the exercise?
I had to pick up all the
That's
exercise.
going to be the most valuable for weight loss.
Try to strength train, I'd say at least 2 to 3 times a week. You'll tell me at the end if I'm wrong. I can incorporate some type of cardio in there if I'd like, just for my general like health, but not specifically with the idea that I'm like using it to lose weight. Sleep well, drink a lot of water. Does water help? Like if I drink a lot of water, does that make my stomach like feel more like full, if you will, like expand it?
Especially when you drink it during meals.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's going to, again, take longer to get out of your stomach.
Yeah.
So it'll expand your stomach more, and it's like non-calories.
Yeah.
So sure. Yeah.
So it's helpful. All right. More helpful than say like soda. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? So yeah, if it was like full sugar soda,
right.
Well, like seltzers, and like diet sodas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
from a calorie perspective,
coffee, tea, like whatever. Fine. Yeah, something. But calorically speaking, those are fine.
Non-caloric drinks for sure. If you drink your calories, it's almost impossible to lose weight.
Right. Okay. So then would you say like my summary is pretty accurate? Like if you were advising me as like your client?
One caveat.
Yeah.
So when I get my clients onto a nutrition app and they're adherent to the calories, when you're not intuitively eating, so I agree with like how we started this, as we said, like if you do cardio, oftentimes you eat more that day because of it.
Right.
And again, if you're trying to lose weight, if you do cardio, you should eat more that day if you're not trying to lose weight. But if you are, and you're also counting calories and you're doing a good job at that, you can absolutely leverage like, 20, 30 minutes of cardio, like three times a week.
Yeah.
To get that extra energy expenditure to help that process.
Yep.
As long as you're aware, right? As long as you're beholden, you like say, well, I'm not going to add extra calories in because I did this thing.
Right.
It can help, but I would just say like, find the cardio that you like. Cardio doesn't really matter as much like of the type it is. Just find the thing that you enjoy doing the most, that you're most likely to participate in. I would say add that in 3 times a week, meet at the tail end of your strength training sessions if you have the time to do it. And it could accelerate the process of weight loss if you're doing the other things first.
Yeah.
If you're only doing cardio and that's the one thing you're doing, it's not going to do much.
Okay. So the hierarchy is nutrition is the top, strength training, cardio, and then just being like an active human being.
Yes,
sitting less.
Yes, 100%. So be more physically active. So for most of my clients, I'll put them on a physical activity plan as well. It's not exercise. Like you're not on targeted exercise. You're living a more active life, and you're thinking about how to be more active throughout your days and weeks with intention of like, that's the lifestyle that you're moving towards, is how to sit less and move more.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I think that sums it up.
Cool.
I will try to do all those things.
Let's go.
Again. I've tried.
Good luck.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot over the last few years from you.
Yeah, that was good.
I have an idea. I mean, at one point I thought Snickers were healthy.
And look how far you've come.
And now I don't.
Yeah. So, congratulations.
All right. With that, I think that's the end of the pod.
All right, buddy. See
you.